All right, welcome back to the channel. Now that this bike is basically done, I just got a few more welds and paint to do on this thing, and then it'll be done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop onto this because I need a bike that I can just, I don't know, ride, because that one I'm not gonna just ride like that. I'm gonna just keep that for straightaways. But this one I think I'm gonna use as a putt around. I got this engine over here, 7 horse. Wow. Got this 7 horse Subaru over here, which is covered up. That's running perfectly fine. And not, I would throw this 9 horse on it. If that'll fit, actually, I would rather throw that on here because it's been sitting for a long time and I need to make some use of it. So what I'm gonna do is, oh, I got the plate for it. So I should just prop this up and see if this will fit inside real quick. All right, let me see how that goes. All right, so that didn't work out. As you can see, this thing has about 5 more inches on regular engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that 7 horse. Say this for a later day, probably go-kart. And this already has the clutch on it anyway. So that's just less work I have to do, because I remember this is stuck on there. The paint has to get off without possibly breaking it. So, but yeah, these 2 engines work just fine. I actually have a go-kart that probably can go on to keep up with the guys without making modifications. So let me go ahead and throw these brakes on. Basically with this, brakes, throttle, engine, and it's a roller. So let me get this brakes settled and find some metal so I can cut out a plate for that, line it up, and then make this thing a runner. Probably need some grips. Okay, so here's the braking system. Hydraulic brakes. It's on the left side. I don't know what just fell off, but it looks important. And oh, it's probably this piece right here. It's crushed. And it's the same system that I put on this bike right here, because this is the same strut set up. I just had to cut it a little bit to fit this frame, which I'm gonna have to cut the blue ones to fit that frame. But anyway, I got some nuts and bolts up here that I bought a while ago. Should work on it and get this thing rolling. Hopefully these are it. Yeah, there they are. Oh, maybe not. That'll piss me off if it didn't work. All right, so I'm gonna do this off camera. Easy day. I'm gonna make it work, trust me. But yeah, I'm gonna need some spacers, obviously, because they ain't gonna just slide on. I gotta collapse this real quick to get that piece out, throw this on, and then route this along the frame to the left side. And I'm not gonna put grips on it yet until I paint the bike. And I gotta grind all this stuff down. Yeah. Make it neat. And finish welding the seat. I only got tack welds on the seat. All right, let me throw this on real quick because I ain't gonna bore y'all with that. And then go from there. All right, so I went ahead and got my pipe cutter out, tube cutter, made 2 spacers to put back here. Go ahead and throw them on because I was hitting the brakes and the brakes just fell out. So go ahead and put this on so I don't lose the brakes, even though I got spare brake pads. Well, the brake pads fell out. So I'm gonna throw them on so that they stay put, and then flip this wire around. That way it's all not bound out. But yeah, it's coming along. I have to find me a piece of metal to put down here though. All right, so we got the brake working good. Check this out. Woo! So we get it rolling. All right, so we're stopping. Now it's time to make it go. So we have the engine. The engine works just fine. Ignore this part. That's just from where one of those engines over here leaked onto it. And I'm about to get all of them running just cause. And then clean them out. Like clear the gas out, that way I don't have to worry about cleaning the carbs again. But anyway, what I decided to do, use this engine plate that originally came on it, and I'm gonna use this half angle right there and on this side. I just laying around, and so it happens that I need to get rid of it. Got all this extra metal, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this. What I'm gonna do is, all right, see where I marked it. So I'm going to cut one piece, and then after I cut it, I'm gonna mark another piece and cut it for the other side. Then go ahead and weld it up nice and straight. And then I'm gonna throw the engine on this plate, throw the engine with the plate connected onto the bike, line it up with a chain, and then weld it. And then all I have to do is hook up the throttle, and then we are a rider. But the problem is, I don't know if I have the working components for a throttle. That's the thing. I know I got one somewhere, I just don't know. I know I got the thumb one right here, but I was gonna use that on another project. I'll find one. I got all this crap in here. It's gotta be at least one that's usable, at least temporarily. I got all these pieces. Got this right here, useless. Got grips, useless. I have this one, but this is missing the little plastic piece that goes inside of here. So I was hoping I could find one, maybe piece one together. But once I get this engine done, that's what I'll do. So let me go ahead and cut this, and then clean it up, weld it, and get this thing mounted. That way, I gotta change this front tires inner tube, which is this one right here. I gotta find out why that keeps going flat, because I just changed it. But yeah, let me go ahead and do that. I need to find another tire to throw on the front that so this thing will match, because it looks kind of weird. All right, let me get the cutting. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so we got those pieces cut out. Give you an idea of what I was talking about. Make it a longer platform, that way I can use the same plate. I got one side pretty much lined up, so I'm going to tack weld. I'm going to tack weld this side. This side looks like it's a little bit off, so I tack weld this side. I'll swap everything, and then tack weld the other side. So it ain't on the angle. Looks like it might be. I'm gonna refine it and then tack it. Be right back. All right, so I got 3 tacks on each side, and I think that'll be able to hold this engine. 7-horse beast. Let this thing cool off a little bit. I guess I could bring everything else back inside. I'm gonna go ahead and put this frame in the shed, because I'm not gonna build that one yet. I want to finish building this one and the other one. When they're completely built, then I'm gonna go ahead and finish over blue, because I got a lot of work to do with that one. Wherever the big block is, that's gonna be my big block. But this one right here, it's almost done. Gotta line it up, grab me a chain, set it up on a bucket or something. Spin it, make sure it's on line. Tack it. And then do a test ride, and then I got to weld on the foot pegs, which are right here. Which when I had that stuff out, I should have just grinded these down in the front. That way, I probably could just weld them on now, because I'm just put them on the front, straight up. That way. Guess like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, probably like this. That way it opens. be like that. Yeah, it looks good. That'll work. But I don't know if I want to put them up front or like on the side. So once I get this engine mounted, I don't know then. That's why I haven't put these on yet. So let me set these back to the side. Once this thing cools off, I'm gonna sit this thing up there. Actually, I can sit it up there now. Where's my glove? Hold on. All right, so it's a little hot. See what I'm doing? Look at that. Got myself a plate. Once this thing cools off, which I think that goes like that. I'm gonna mount it on here. I'm gonna put it on there, and if it lines up close, because if you see the holes are like to one side, which I think that's how it was originally. But this is the original plate for it, and if it lines up close to this, I'm gonna go ahead and tack, and then weld, and make sure it's good to go. And it should be ready to ride. Just needs the engine installed and the throttle. Oh, and I gotta change the inner tube. So, let's see if I can feel some heat off of this thing still. Yep. Wow, just from the tacks, that thing's that hot. All right, so let me see if I can find these. Let this thing cool off, and I'll be right back. All right, so I just verified that the bolts mount up to this. Now I'm gonna take this plate off, put it on here, slide the engine on, slide the bolts through, make sure that this is lined up properly. If not, be a little upset. Something I thought about that. Frame is wider. I don't know if this is straight or not, but so maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see. All right, let's get these bolts back off. All right, this looks like it's it. It's a little crooked, but it's fine. Looks like this side of the frame, I mean the what's it called? The engine plate goes with the frame, so that lines up. So the engine's a little turned sideways, but I don't care. I just want to ride a bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack there. I'm gonna tack in the front. I'm gonna tack on the other side, remove the engine, and weld. Well, I might just leave the tacks. Yeah, I'll just leave the tacks. And then throw the bolts on and see if it'll run smooth. All right, let me go and tack this up. Okay, here it is, finished product. Minus the foot pegs and the throttle. I like it. Just needs paint and have the rest of the welds welded. You need to readjust the alignment of the chain a little bit, I think, or it might be fine. But let me go and start this thing for y'all. Here's a runner. Tell the chain's loosening up, but it's all good. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna see if I can find me a throttle, and if I can find me a throttle, go ahead and weld those foot pegs on, and take this thing for a spin. Just down the street and back, because likely I'm gonna need a chain tensioner. That thing is hopping. All right, let me see if I can find this thing. All right, so I found one. It's an old one, but it looks like it's gonna work. Find out. Let's hope that when, yeah, it's fine. Got to zip tie this like there and up there. Easy work. All right, let me throw this back together. Don't need a kill switch. I need to wipe the tank off though. It's crazy. I don't know if this thing's leaking gas or what, but it was out of gas again. So I know this is a brand new car, never used. But something I have gunk in it. But it's starting and running, so. But gotta remember that that's tacked on. I gotta tighten this up. That been bad. And let me throw this back on. And we should, oh yeah, I'm gonna tack on some foot pegs real quick. And then we'll be good to go. So I decided to put the foot pegs back here. I think that's gonna work. And I have my legs like that. I'll see how it works. If not, I can always cut them off and reset them. So that's what I'm gonna do. Do this side first. And I should be far enough away from that. I won't be worried. I'm not worried about it. All right, let me go ahead and this thing grounded. Get my gloves on, and I'm gonna weld them on and see how they look, and then take this thing for a spin. Finally it's done. I started this thing around noon. It's about 3:30 now. With like the camera stopping for editing and all that cool stuff. I didn't even stop for lunch. It's a complete bike almost. I mean, it's good enough to ride. I still gotta weld everything completely together, zip ties and all that cool stuff. But as far as like a rideable bike, that's it. I've decided to weld them back here in the back because like my knees will be in the way of the steering wheel if they're up here. And I don't sit back far enough. So I figure I need to be down a little bit lower so I can steer and all that stuff. But I'm gonna take it off the stands and see how it feels. Okay, so after I did the little testing for just sitting on it, these aren't really that durable. Like they flex this way. They flex really low. Like they're at their strongest point when they're like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them off. I'm gonna have them facing forward, and then they'll open up that way. And still have that. No, let me see. Cut it off. Face them forward. Like have this part right here, extend it out like that when it's away, and then they'll flip out like this way, like that. And that's like the most durable part because it's really durable there. So I'm gonna take a quick test run, see how it rides. Change my shoes real quick because these boots are gonna be dragging. All right, let's do the test ride. Got the front tire, it's flat. Yeah. Not bad. It's gonna be nice. happy with it. And FYI, woo! I didn't give it all its potential because front tire's flat, but she got some. I feel like it wants to come up. But yeah, that's the Subaru 7 horsepower stretch. I think this is the original Doodle. It's complete enough to ride, but like I said, I want to change the pegs, and I gotta change the front tire. Well, change the inner tube. Hopefully, I can find me an actual wheel for it, and then weld everything together, paint it, and everything will be good. Find me another grip that'll match that. If not, don't really matter. I'll find me another set of grips for it. But yeah, she's good to go. Just need to weld together and get the ride. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Managed to get this thing running today, which that was my intent, because like I'm tired of these things just sitting here incomplete. So I got this thing running, the one behind it, this one, white bike, of course those or whatever, and this one. So next video I'm just finish this one up with paint and call it a day. I'm gonna find a grip like this. I think they're on like the 4-wheelers or something, or if I can replace it. But yeah, next video I'm gonna do all that, just weld, replace that and that. Everything will be meant. Take this thing out for a long ride. Man, this thing got some power though. Got some power. I am going to need a chain tensioner eventually. Yeah, it's already loosening. But I'm hoping that it'll loosen enough, because I got one of those where it goes male to female. You know, it's like shaped like, it goes like that on it. So maybe I can get away with not using a chain tensioner. But we'll see. But make sure you subscribe, hit that like button if you like the video, and comment down below. 007 is out. See y'all in the next video.